It's Saturday morning, and because it's Saturday morning and it's supposed to be a day of rest, I slept late. I slept all the way to 7 o'clock. That's what Saturday's for, right? Resting? Well, I slept to 7 o'clock, so my morning pajama talk is coming to you with sunlight streaming in from the windows and from my French door. And this morning I'm talking about acceptance. The ability to say, okay, it is what it is. I cannot change it. I cannot do anything to make it go away. I cannot kill it. I cannot maim it. I cannot destroy it. I simply have to accept it and move on. There are many things in life that haunt us, make us sad, distraught, discouraged, doubtful, kooky, crazy, full of animosity and anger, and make us want to run to its source and just pull the plug. But we are not so fortunate or powerful to do just that. We can't just pull a plug on things and make them simply get up and go away or disappear. Many times we're forced to endure, to participate, although in hostility, and go on pretending all is well. And we are okay with everything. Oh, it's peachy keen. We're fine with it. We okay. We okay with it. We deep down are not okay with it. And we are burning and churning. And there's a storm brewing. And the inability to consent to the situation, whatever it may be, is so disturbing to us that it sometimes causes blood pressures to rise, ulcers to form in our stomachs, and before we know what's happening, we are caught up in a whirlwind of nasty. And we just don't know how to get rid of it. Things don't always go our way. People don't always do what we want them to do. The weather doesn't always cooperate with our plans. And there are people who live to create havoc and hysteria simply because they can. And their lives are meant to torment us and give us grief. They're gifted that way. Many times I wished myself to have magic powers so that I could wiggle my nose and make things happen the way I wanted them to. Snap my fingers and make the weather bright and sunny and glorious. Or wave my hand and give the person who's given me so much trouble even more trouble so that I can watch them suffer and be punished for the grief they've caused me. How many times you said that? I want to see them burn. I want to see them suffer for what they did to me. I want to see it. I want to see it. We don't always get to see it. Honey, it doesn't happen that way. Sometimes we are simply stuck. Stuck in a day without sunshine. Stuck in a situation that's taking us downhill when we want to just go up. We're stuck in a relationship with a whiny, crying, mean, just to be mean, spiteful person who lives to make us miserable. And we're stuck in a body that is not thin and a little bouncy and a little firm here and there in all the right places. With pecs and biceps that were meant to best and outbest and, of course, impress. We don't always get what we want, people. We aren't always in the right place at the right time. And we can almost guarantee ourselves to have one of those people who knows how to push our buttons and yank our chain and simply drive us nuts. We work hard to resist. We say, I'm going to create boundaries. I simply will not allow them to trespass on my space. And we work to be optimistic and positive. We're determined to do this. But sometimes what we get is stuck. Simply stuck. And there's not a blasted thing we can do about it. We are simply stuck. We got no choice in the matter. We have to buckle down, fasten our seatbelts, and pray for the best. There's a prayer that says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Serenity. Now there's a word for you. It means peace. The ability to be mellow, content, poised in a position of being tranquil and quiet, calm and full of composure. That says, I can do this. I'll get through this. But the key word in this sentence is acceptance, which is sometimes a terrible thing to get a hold of. How many times do we see people fighting and arguing because they simply cannot accept the things the way they are? How many children run away? Adults do. Because things are so tough at home, they simply cannot cope or accept their situation. We see families torn apart because of differences and the inability to accept those differences and remember the love that they were born into and simply accept each other the way they are. Acceptance is not an easy thing. We don't like not getting our way. We want things to go the way we plan. And when our plans are messed up, we often boo and get angry and upset and wage war on the universe, or at least the people and the world around us. We either make a lot of trouble, kick and scream, holler, throw fits, become branded as difficult and hostile, or we sink into a pit of depression and cry ourselves to slumber and sadness. Sometimes we can walk away out of the situation and move on to another. Why spend so much time kicking and screaming and trying to protest when there is a stubborn stain on the surface of what we're fighting? And we know it ain't going away. It will not go away. I know it's hard, but sometimes we simply need to accept things the way they are. We don't have to like it. We don't have to celebrate it. And we certainly don't have to embrace it. We just have to accept it, acknowledge it. And there is nothing we can do to change it. And then, here's the hard part. Let it go. Accept it the way it is. And move on. In the long run, once you give in to the unchangeable and set your course to more fertile, pliable, a more peaceful environment, we will win out and find the peace and serenity we need to live a happy and a healthy life. Because let me tell you, all of this fighting and feuding and getting angry and throwing fits and all of the stuff that happens when we refuse to accept something ain't making us healthy. And it doesn't make us feel good. So just accept your situation and move on so that you can find the peace and the harmony and the serenity that you deserve.